I am a cafeteria Christian, and so are you. Most often than not, this term is used with the intent to offend or to deride someone who appears to be picking and choosing what parts of the Bible and Christian teachings they are willingly accepting and which parts they politely decline. Not unlike what is happening at every high school cafeteria, where you freely choose whether you add those green beans to your meat and potatoes or leave them untouched on the counter. Studies have shown that most, perhaps even all American Christians today are indeed cafeteria Christians, even those who claim to take the Bible literally. After all, most Christians do enjoy their shrimp and pork chop, even though it's strictly forbidden by the Bible. But at the same time, not a single Christian banker is willing to cancel all the debts every 7 years, as instructed by the very same Bible. Many, if not most, evangelical Christians strongly oppose any efforts to grant a legal status to undocumented immigrants, even though both the Old and the New Testament strongly urge us to welcome and to care for the alien and the stranger in our midst. Yet, they are stuck on those few passages like woman shall not preach or man shall not lie with another man. Picking and choosing or selective application of the Bible teachings is the hallmark of American Christianity. Do not be troubled, though. We are not the ones who invented such selective approach to the Bible. Back in the 3rd century, some Jewish rabbis counted all the commandments of the Hebrew scriptures, and they ended up with a modest number of 613. Out of that number, 365 are thou shalt, and 248 are thou shalt nots. They realized that it is humanly impossible to follow all the rules imposed on them and on us. Hence, it is our responsibility and our duty to use our conscience to discern and to decide which teachings of the Bible make sense today, which of them serve justice and charity, and which should be left on display in a museum. This problem existed already when Jesus was alive. In the Gospel passage assigned for this Sunday, some Jewish religious leaders asked Jesus to help them to decide which one of those 613 commandments truly is the greatest and the most important. To everyone's surprise, Jesus did not recite one of the 10 commandments, but instead offered us two somewhat obscure and found in two different parts of the Bible prescriptions. Love your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. I imagine that Jesus' selection of these two minor Bible rules would have easily qualified him as a cafeteria Jew. As a matter of fact, he was frequently accused by the overzealous and self-righteous of ignoring and even breaking many biblical norms. He picked and he chose how, when, and if to apply the very serious rules of the Sabbath rest. He touched lepers and menstruating women, even though it is strictly forbidden by the Bible. Not to mention all those tax collectors, sinners, and prostitutes who were never too far away from Jesus. At the end of the day, Jesus is telling us in no uncertain terms that if it is not about love, it is not about God. Sure, all the other 611 commandments might have had some historical or cultural sense, and some of them still do today. But in the cafeteria of spiritual life, always feel free to help yourself to 2 servings of love, even if you skip the green beans of the Bible. Amen.